Okay, so second video of the day, part 2, right, in regards to Africa and some children that live that way. I don't know what's going on with Truly Amazing, aka Shelly, forever. Let's just see. Do you see what's going on here? 4 comments disappeared. I wonder why. It appears that I have upset somebody for doing outreach with Lady Jane, to whom is running an adult channel with her content when it relates to giving advice to men, mainly over sexual activities between man and woman. All right, that threw me for a loop too, right? When I first came to her page, she was doing community activism within the community, yada yada yada, within her community, and then she switched up her content, and then there seemed to be some shady shit going on with Mama Peter, with the last little bout that I had with her when it related to doing a floor, which never happened. And instead the money went towards the mortgage of the property, and just the whole night, it just kind of went south, right? But at the end of the day, I could try and contact, what's his name, Joel Oberton, and ask him to do something within the Capella region in terms of outreach to, a family in need. But I have no rapport with that person in terms of no contact outside of he subscribed to my channel at one point. Okay, so Forever Blessed, where are we? Forever Blessed was Truly Amazing. She has 2 channels. She has Forever Blessed, and she has another channel called Truly Amazing. And then I guess she got her mom. Now we're talking about some American woman that I'm thinking is disgusted with me because I've decided... Andre, can you turn that down for a minute? Oh, what webs we weave. Okay, let me just say what I have to say here. Who is somehow disgusted, I suppose, to the point where she deleted herself from being a subscriber to my channel. I think this is what happened. I just did the video, right? What is it called? What prevents you from giving? Now, let's keep it in perspective. Shelly is her real name, who at this point had 2 user accounts on YouTube, where one was called Truly Amazing and the other one was Forever Blessed. She just came in not even 20 minutes ago, asked me a question as if Lady Jane was the same individual that I was dealing with in the past when it came to charity work, outreach, yada yada yada, who decided to turn her channel into an adult, X-rated adult Dear Jane format. And I'm like, yeah, same person, but who am I to judge? I sew stripper costumes. So, you get a mosh podge of everything when you're dealing with strippers, right? It's just a fact of life. You're in the you're in the adult entertainment industry. Some strippers will go as far as to be hookers as well as strippers, where some strippers are nothing but strippers, and that's all they do. Okay. So there's that fine line when, if they're buying an outfit from me as a costume maker because they're strippers, or maybe they're just a woman who wants to put on something sexy for their man, okay, and want to just pretend to be a stripper, who am I to tell them that they can't buy my outfit because I don't like what they do? Right? So this is where I can't judge. Outside of, if you're a dirty stripper and you do me dirty like Rhea did, because she used to be a stripper, and look what she just recently did to my family and to me by robbing me blind. That doesn't make all strippers like her. Okay? Right? Well, and if I'm willing to work with strippers within the adult entertainment industry without casting judgment, where back in the day when my children were small and it was the strippers who helped me to supplement the milk within my household so that my children never went without milk, because I was making money selling costumes, so therefore I'd go buy milk and anything else I needed to feed to my family. If I wouldn't have had the strippers buying the costumes, I wouldn't have had the money to buy the milk. So in that situation, you know, I had a lot of respect for the girls. And they had respect for me. Did I go up and say, excuse me, you're a stripper? Are you like prostituting on the side? Because you know the rumorville says that being that you're a stripper, you must be doing that. You have to be doing that. Because you're just a dirty, dirty girl. No. It wasn't my place to ask. And even if I found out if they were, it still wasn't my place to cast judgment. Where my issue with Lady Jane was, you know, how can I say this? I came on the foot of being charitable to her region because she herself put herself out as a community activist wanting to do charitable work, but not having enough support to do that work. And it's like I told Lady Jane in the beginning, this might go into a part 3, because I'm not going to drop the ball on this one, because I am convinced Truly Amazing deleted her channel, her subscriber, not her channel, but her subscription. She deleted her subscription to my channel, and she may very well even delete her Forever Blessed, because in her mind, I'm siding with a sinner who is participating in adult entertainment under the disguise of giving men advice on women, to which maybe she doesn't agree with, right? And it's not like I listen to that advice because, you know, that's not what I need in my life in terms of listening to Lady Jane monologue when it comes to relationships between men and women within her country, I suppose. My goal is to help the children. And before I go to another random stranger on YouTube, like Joel Overton, who has also done community activism, I would go back to what's familiar with, in terms of, at least I have a bit of history with Lady Jane compared to no history with Joel Overton, other than my couple of videos that I did with him walking by that little boy on the road with no adults around, where he could become subject to child sacrifice, or just simply disappear off the streets, considering what I was talking about with his video. Lady Jane is different. She started off innocent and sweet. Then she grew up and became a woman. Created her own YouTube streets. Did the best, I suppose you could say, with what I was trying to do, because I approached her. She didn't approach me. But once I approached her, she did start to put pressure on me, which I just addressed within this video that I just uploaded. That Truly Blessed Shelly came in and made a comment. I answered the comment. I said, well, I'm nobody to judge, and if I can get my act together and put my clothes together, whether they're my stripper costumes or my clothing, which is vintage, and then go next door and set up a fashion show with DJ James to get a catwalk going like a good old days, in terms of 5 women strutting their stuff on the catwalk, modeling my outfits regardless of what they are, so that maybe we could do a little fundraiser to generate a little bit of money to send to Lady Jane, because at least we are getting back videos from Uganda as to where that money is going. And I've already priced out the cost of food in Uganda if you were to buy it in 25-pound bags. And I can tell you right now, it's almost comparison to what it would cost as if you were living in Canada. So what little that she's showing us isn't going that far, and that's the point. Because the cost of living, minus vegetables or something, you know, but when you're getting into your beans and your salts and your grains and your sugars, it's almost comparison. So, you know, like $50 after you pay $50 in school fees, you know, isn't going to go very far. And I don't think Lady Jane is that hard up where she's got to steal $50 from little children who are being hired to be professional actors just so that suckers like me make a donation. When the woman herself is clearly making her own money in her own YouTube streets, not hurting anybody, not committing any crimes. YouTube obviously allows her to do it, so therefore it's within their guidelines, right? And who am I to say that whoever watches her channel isn't benefiting from it, in terms of they like watching her videos, they find value in her videos, you know, they find some kind of advice in there that helps them to deal with whatever coping mechanisms that they need within their own lives to communicate with women or have sex with women or whatever. Like, I'm past the shock of it. I was a little shocked because that's not what I expected from Lady Jane, considering how I came onto her channel, how I approached her. But then obviously I came in with my own agenda. And just because I have my own agenda doesn't mean I have the right to superimpose on her channel to make it fit in, conform with what I think is quote-unquote morally correct, when I myself work with strippers, or have worked with strippers, and will work with strippers once I get my own act together and get my costumes online. Or I go next door and I invite the women to come over here and to go through the clothes, and if they find something that they want, whether it's for their hubby in the privacy of their own home, or whether they want to go do a stag and be a stripper for a night, that's not for me to tell them they can't buy my outfit, and that somehow I am more superior, worthy, morally righteous, or whatever the hell it is that I want to put myself. So because I kind of was going down that road, and it wasn't that I was ignoring what happened in the realm of my interactions with Lady Jane and how it all unfolded, and my disappointment and my surprise, and you know, my doubts as to maybe she was running a scam, or, you know, she was the, you know, the receptionist to the brothel, right? Because I even said, you know what, like, you know, from one extreme to the other, it's like, you know, welcome to the, you know, the cat house, right? But when you're young and you're pretty and you feel sexy and you're motivated and you're bold and flamboyant, and I guess you can say that you got the gift of the gab, and you can capitalize on making money in a legitimate sense where you can support yourself, especially in this day and age, whether I suppose it's in Canada or whether I suppose it's in Uganda. Again, it's not for me to judge, especially when I'm thinking about having a fashion show over there with my stripper costumes. I already discussed it with James, DJ James, 6, 7, 8 months ago. It's just my life moves slow, and I'm too busy cleaning up after fucking people that come in and destroy my life. And the last time I checked, not, you know, I mean, maybe she deleted her channel by accident. I highly doubt it, because as soon as she did that, removed herself as a subscriber because perhaps she disagrees and thinks that I'm, you know, aligning myself with ill repute women. I guess you can say it's called ill repute, right? Like, you know, women of low moral character, right? You know, somehow my character dropped where she's not a subscriber no more, because I've insulted her religious, moral correctness. And in order for me to gain back her so-called friendship or her YouTube support, you know, I gotta rise above to her standards, her moral standards, which is wrong, because the reason I know her name is Shelly is because I made a donation to her years ago when I was doing the Balkan wheat. When I was buying big bulk, like 25, 50 pounds of wheat and rye kernels and oatmeal, and I was hardcore prepping, okay? And Shelly came in talking about how the government was going to cut back on her support, right? Like, I don't know what kind of support. It was some sort of social services support. And she was going to lose money and have less money for food, right? Or something like that. And I read that. That's all it took, was for me to read that. As I was going about doing my videos, and then I offered to buy her food from Organic Matters and have it shipped out to her to compensate for what her government was taking away from her. And then she had me send it to her stepfather's house because she lived in an apartment, and she was afraid that if it got delivered at the apartment, it would have gotten stolen. Whereas if it got delivered to a house, it was more apt to reach its destination. To which she's up on the East Coast, which I did not know because it was a random act. I did not ask her if she was a morally righteous woman with no sins or any of that stuff, right? I didn't have a test, like, you know, I didn't have a little survey for her to fill out for me to make sure that she qualified for my before it was just a random act. Oh my God, they're cutting you here. You know, I'm not trying to brag on YouTube, showing you these things. So just to show you how to start, to give you a chance to compensate whatever it was, I did like a $375 Canadian donation, people. 300 and something. It was over $300, $350, $375 I bought Canadian dollars. I know it doesn't seem like much, but that was a hit. It was a hit like with Mama Peter, right? It was a hit. It was a financial hit for me. The difference between working with the people in Africa compared to what I did for Shelly is the level of poverty. Shelly has safety nets within her country if she needs them. Where Mama Peter and this little girl, very far and few between. Just, if anything, bare bones minimum. Right? Where Lady Jane, you know, wanting to be a community activist, tried that out on her channel and soon learned that it's not as easy as she thought it was. So she had to get creative. And sex always sells. That's a given. So she chose to be going into adult entertainment under the premise of advice for mainly men. Do I agree with everything that she says? No, I don't. I don't. But then I don't listen to everything she says either, and there's no point. It doesn't benefit me. But it's not enough for me to not care about the kids. And I already have connection with them. I already have history with them. Right? That's the part Shelly doesn't understand. There's the foundation. There's history with Lady Jane. She's already connected me with the kids. Right? Unless Shelly honestly thinks that Lady Jane hired those children out to be actors. Right along with Mama Peter and Little Peter. To which sometimes it kind of felt that way. Just by the way Lady Jane compiled her videos. And didn't give us maybe more information. More to see what we were really dealing with in terms of the environment. And more openness and yada-de-yada. Versus keeping it focused, right? You know what I'm saying? If there was people standing around when Lady Jane was giving Mama Peter the food, the sheets, the carpet, the mattresses, the buckets, doing the roof, there was always people standing around because those buildings that Mama Peter lived in is kind of like row housing. There wasn't a lot of distance between each building. And because there isn't a lot of activity going on in the community, as soon as Lady Jane was out there in the roof, everybody came out and witnessed it. Same is true when the food was given, right? Lady Jane didn't put the camera on the people to show anything. She just mentioned that they were there. So, with that, it kind of makes you wonder if it wasn't a movie set because it was so pinpointed. But when you look at the bigger picture, especially if you have history working with these types of families, right? Then maybe you're more forgiving, more understanding, more willing to take risks because you know the dire straits around it. And if some random individual off the internet thinks that they can influence me to not do what I want to do because I'm siding with a hussy based on religious morality here, when I myself plotting and scheming how to make sexy outfits for sexy dancers, which is kind of like, you know, going towards that, you know, seedy side of life, right? But then I'm an adult. I can do what I want. I'm not hurting anybody. And the last time I checked, when I was hanging out with the dancers, working with the dancers in the clubs, they were the ones that were making it so that I could buy milk for my children when I didn't have money. Enough money, that is. And if Shelly is on low income, and if she really is a woman with children, then she would understand that you don't always have enough money for milk. You don't always have enough money to buy as much groceries. You have money for groceries, but not enough to maybe buy as much as you'd like. And that's why when she mentioned that the government was taking money away from her because of cutbacks, I offered to pick up the slack, do a donation, dig into my pocket, and bought her a whole bunch of shit, had it delivered to her house, and then advised her to continue working on that for herself, being that she lived in a country where there were safety nets. And this was long before I ever met Lady Jane. I wasn't trying to connect with Lady Jane as I was trying to connect with somebody in her community. And I couldn't do that by myself. And yes, Lady Jane, was it a setup from the beginning? Make myself look all sweet and everything. Honestly, her numbers didn't go up until she changed her content on her channel. Can you blame that on YouTube? Maybe. Yeah, maybe, right? I suggested that maybe Lady Jane is getting corrupted. Perhaps she is. But to the point where I think she's stealing food and money from children, I highly doubt it. So I lost 2 subscribers from the moment I answered Truly Amazing's post. And if that is the case, that kind of tells me she didn't like my answers. And therefore, you know. Plus, she unsubscribed herself along with somebody else. Maybe she got her mom to unsubscribe. Because they don't want me aligning myself with a so-called hussy that likes to talk smut on the internet for views and money. Even though she's not committing any crimes. Is I'm plotting and scheming how to have a fashion show over there with sexy outfits. So that I can maybe do a little fundraiser, do a little donation to the children. I'm not going to contact Joel Overton and ask him to help me to help somebody else in that country when there's already people there that I'm involved with. And why should I care? Well, I don't know, Shelly. Why should I care? Why should I? Are you mad because I didn't continue giving to you? And I've moved on to doing other things where I should be sending you money? Well, not money. I didn't send you money. I bought you food. Wasn't a lot. It was just a little bit. Right? Because, right? You know what I mean? Is that it? Or is it just you're so religious that you feel that you have the right to, I suppose, try and intimidate me to prevent me from doing what I think I can do for people who are worthy of my support. I don't know how old you are, but I know how old I am, and I don't expect to be around for too much longer at the rate I'm going. So, it doesn't hurt to try. Right? And that's what I'm doing. Because that was too strange. It happened too fast, too quick. It's all part and parcel of the internet. Right? That's what trolls do. They fuck with your psyche. I'm sorry, they boo-boo your psyche. They try and make you self-doubt yourself and, you know, question, and feel insecure and get scared and, you know, be unsure, right? Submit, right? Beg for forgiveness, you know. Maybe we're dealing with a Karen instead of a Shelly. Maybe Shelly was always a Karen. Or maybe Shelly accidentally deleted her channel. That could have happened. Anything can happen on YouTube. Right? You push the wrong button, boop, you're gone. Right? So, no, you know, it is what it is, people. So I'm going to, maybe I should put this as a little, what is it called? No, I already turned off that computer. As a intermission. As an intermission. Oh, my tools came. Andre, can you bring me my tools? How about we do that? And I will show you the tools. I'm going to upload this video as an intermission to part 1. And then I have to move around. I got things I got to do. If I upset you, well, what can I say? For all the cussing that I've been doing all these years, and I've been cussing for years, I would think that if you were that morally righteous, you would have left a long time ago. So you can't use Lady Jane as an excuse. That's just...
Here. Yeah, sure, Doc's. It's heavy.
Okay, give me this. That's one. There's another one.
Oh, just heavy.
I know, that's because...
And you just got your glasses, too.
I know. Oh my god, and those ones are just barely hanging on. Oh my god. Oh, I hope I didn't break them. Just hold on a minute. Alrighty, yo. I'm not sweating it. So, we're gonna see the new tools. That's how we're gonna end this video. Alright. Let's see what we got. I'm not even gonna make excuses. I'm not worried about it. I don't like the mindfuckery, but, you know, people are unstable. Am I stable? No, not necessarily, but... Okay, so what do we got? I'm sure she ran off with these things. Because they would have been in my toolbox. You see, that's the thing. Right? That's what's in toolboxes. It comes in its own little case. They're gone. Not anymore, though. And that stuff is important. Right? For various reasons. Okay, then what's this? Nice little case. It's, I wish I could see better. But I have a grandson that can see. So I'm not too worried about it. I have a son that likes to work with wood, so anything is possible. It's a wood carving set. Small ones. I have a sneaky feeling she stole all those too. Yeah. And you know I'm looking for them in the house, and so far I haven't seen them. I shouldn't have had to buy them, but I'm not going to sit around in angst. You know, angst, being upset, and irritated, annoyed, and wondering if and when I'll ever find them. Because chances are, just in light of what I've been dealing with when it comes to the robbery of the inside of my house, anything is possible in terms of what that bitch took. Oh, don't tell me this is broken. Where's the bloody zipper on it? Oh, here we go. So, if I want to go out tomorrow and go grab myself a stick to go start carving and making a walking stick, I can do it. Nothing's stopping me. And eventually I will. Because my life is going to be reduced down to that. Where I won't be able to do much. The blinder I get, the less I can do. But something like this, I could probably do. But not if I don't have the tools because somebody robbed me. Alright. So got that. And then we got this. Again, I wish I could see better. Yeah, craftsman. Craftsman. Not master, it's craftsman. Do you honestly think I wanted to buy freaking screwdrivers? Like, come on. But if you're gonna do shed repairs, porch repairs, or whatever, you need them. So I made sure I had them so that when I'm ready and able to go outside and work, because I want to go outside and work, nothing's stopping me. Because I do plan on doing shed repairs and working on Mr. Lace's cat house to turn it into a fort for the boys. And they need tools and I need tools. And then we got this. Because she wiped me out of my tools, people. This isn't a fucking joke. Okay? Alright. That's a nice little box, but I don't think I need that one. Now this one comes in a nice wood box. Not that I need boxes, but like that kind of stuff, right? Do you want to come get this box? It's in the way. Andre? Okay, I already lost the chisels, the wood carving set.
Give.
But the box is watch, is big and bulky. Okay, I don't know where I put it.
That's some nice screwdrivers.
Yeah. And there's another set better than that. Where's the black box I just had? I already lost it. Andre?
The one that's like right here.
I can't see. Where? That?
Yeah.
No, that's a flute.
No.
It's smaller. Where is it? Where did I put it? I just had it.
The one behind you?
No, I already opened it. I showed them. Oh, it's right here. Here. This wood carving one. And then we've got this, which is maybe chisels. Yeah. But these are wood carving chisels. Where am I?
I see it came with its own gloves.
See? These are different. I need, like, woodman's chisels. These are not, this is more for carving to make walking sticks and that kind of thing. I need heavy duty. Yeah, this is all for carving. Yeah. So Andre's going to learn how to make walking. So when you guys are out at your fort, you and Jude can work on your walking sticks. I'll let you use these as long as you look after them. That's the whole point. And when I need them, I'll know where they are. But I need more chisels. I need, like, carpenter chisels.
The box behind you.
Well, I'm going to open that up right now. I need carpenter chisels. Because she walked off with, as far as I know, all of them. Here. Right? If they're in my room and she didn't grab them, they'll be there. But she walked off with my beads. Well, gee, if you know, like... Okay, now this is the big set of screwdrivers. That one was just a second set, just so that if we needed the right bit, there was no question we'd have the right bit. That's why you normally have more than one set of screwdrivers. Because certain screwdrivers work best with certain alloys in terms of screws and stuff. Right? And then you end up establishing your favorite tools. So,
Wow, plastic.
plastic. What are you talking about?
It's plastic.
I don't know. So,
Yeah,
for
I
anyone...
got more than a couple there, you know.
Yeah, well, it's a big set. I paid a lot of money for it because I don't got time to fool around. I don't have time to be Mickey Mouse. So this one needs a toolbox. So we need to get a nice toolbox for it. So it comes just with quality screwdrivers. And I don't got time to be... Nothing I can't stand is using a screwdriver where its bit is useless. Where am I? And I don't like it when they strip screws because they're no good. These ones are pretty good in terms of the quality of the product itself. So we got a whole bunch of those. Here. This is the kind of stuff this bitch stole from me. In terms of the different sizes of screwdrivers and stuff.
Oh, I'm getting a big smell from these. I'm getting a lot of smell from these.
Look. This is what I had. Not after what this bitch did, though. So now I don't have to worry about it. So what? I had it. I got it again.
You know, like when you cut wood and it has a smell to it, like when you cut it? Now when you open this bag up, I just got a whiff of that.
Well, yeah, because it works with wood. Look at this. There. Where am I? Right. Oh man, these ones are even better. Holy shit. I didn't have them this big. I think these ones we should give to Uncle Marcane.
Do I bring that down for him?
Oh, I don't need such big ones. I don't think so. Just, well, Hold on a minute. Yeah, just...
Probably like that.
Oh, I'm sure he will. You never know. He might need it for something one day. These are some big-ass screwdrivers. I didn't even know they got this big. No, it's too funny.
Not a metal.
But, you know, for certain things, I could see why they would come handy.
If you
Right?
don't poke your computer screen, that would break it.
Right? And that's a good... No, these bits...
Look at the big flat ones. Go ahead. Nope. Yep.
Yeah, I had these kind too. Mine were older, right? Not so shiny.
And maybe a little bit shorter.
No, I had some, well, not much shorter. No, about that long. Maybe that long.
I got the giant one in there.
Yeah, I know there's a giant one in there. This one right over here. No, I didn't have that one. This one, this size, I had. She stole it. No, I don't have to worry about it. And then this one's way too funny. And just by the weight of them,
How
and
heavy is it?
and by the feel of the metal, it's greasy, eh? The feel of the metal, it's
It is greasy.
you can tell. It's a good quality. It's a good quality, right? This lasts long time. Look at that. So, between the two sets, my bases are covered, and yeah, these bigger ones, I don't think I'm going to need them at this point. If I ever do, if just remember where they are. Look at the bit. Look at the bit on that one. Where am I?
What? Look at the what?
Look at the bit on that one. If I ever need this size bit, you'll know where it is. Look. Oh, look at this one. This is a nice one. These are nice. If you know anything about tools, these are like really nice. Sometimes I get nervous about ordering on Amazon, but if I go with a product that I know, huh?
The handle's glass.
No, it's not a glass. It's no, it's not glass. It's a I don't know what it's called, but no, it's not. Trust me, it's not glass. Craftsman. That's a really good. That's a high quality product. It's American made. That's been around forever. So yeah, I guess you can just take those downstairs to Uncle Marcane. And then, if we need them, you know where they are. Okay? These ones here we'll keep upstairs for now. We'll have to get a toolbox or something for them.
Okay, well, we got this down now, okay?
Alright. Here, take this here. There.
Excuse me.
So we can do what we wanted to do. We can do our shed repairs, work on Mr. Lace's cat house, turn it into a cool fort, whatever. It's all good.
We got to this down to Marcane now.
Here's the problem is solved.
And also Edgar's mail on the.
Maybe one day Uncle Marcane can take you to go buy a nice toolbox for that.
Maybe. I'll be right back. Okay?
Yeah, we'll do that next month.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay. So there. I'm ending this video. This is an intermission. And then when I'm ready to go over with the follow-up video with Lady Jane, then I'll start that, because I kind of just spent too much time doing this today, but I needed a bit of a downtime anyway. So